I am back, and one thing I wanted to mention about the jump rings, if you do not have jump rings, you can use a double cap band, or if you have chains laying around, so you have an old necklace that you no longer use or no longer want, you can take those chains off of there, make sure that they are closed as well as you can get them, and use those as a jump ring, so you don't have to go out and actually purchase purchase the jump rings. So, that being said, let's get started on the next section. Now, this is the front. I'm hoping you can see this. I use the jet black cylindric, which I love, but they're shiny and make it a little hard to see sometimes. So this is the top of, goodness, why is, ooh, that's pretty thin in there. Anyway, it'll be okay because it'll be hidden. This is the top. You can see the loops here. Okay. If I turn it to the side, it looks like it's way to the back, but that's okay. This is where we're going to be working. So it will be the outside loop of the top, and then the first loop of the bottom one. So, that being said, I'm going to give this a tug so you can see, hopefully. We're going to be going through here, and we're going to be going through the loops that are below that slip stitch, and we're going to be going one below that. So, ring, this is where your slip stitch is, this section, and then this section. So, I know, because I'm looking at it, where I'm going to be going. So it's 3 down. You're going to be going through the back 2 loops because they're double. Okay? Sometimes a little hard to get because these are pretty thick bands and pretty tight. So you'll have that section there. Okay? You can kind of see right there. Then you're going to go through the top loops, which, like I said, it's a little tight. There we go. Oops, one too many. I think, maybe not. Nope, that was right. So, just like this. So you'll have 4 on there. So these are the 2 bottom, and these are the 2 outside from the top. Okay? And we're going to pull a band through there. Straight through. All 4 of those that are on your hook. Now, I'm going to turn this around because these things don't want to move very well because, like I said, it's thick. So I turned that around and brought it up. Before you close that, if you give it a tug, you can see the other section that we're going to go through. Here and here. So you're going to put your hook through those 2 on that side and the 2 on the other side, like that, and then reattach or just attach this. Now I like to take a look at it because I want to make sure that these are not crooked. Okay, and I think that's going to be okay. So we'll pull a band through those, through everything that's on your hook, and before reattaching I'm going to let go of this so I can look like this. I'm going to give the ring a tug because I'm going to go through, let me give it a bigger tug so I can see those. Pull this down. Okay, so the outside of the band will be, of the ring will be facing me. Okay, and I'm going to just go put this back on and go through the 2 that are on top and then reattach. So it will look like this. I'm going to pull another band through, and I'm going to do a slip stitch, or a slip knot, however you want to call it. Now, this is the front, so I want the back to come over the top of this one, so I'm going to have to release them, and then, whoop, I guess I was wrong, sorry. I want the back to come over the top, so I'll leave it the way it was, and then I will pull this front one. It gets a little fidgety through, so that the top of that slip stitch is at the front of my bracelet. Now I'm going to take this end that's hanging loose and I'm going to put that jump ring through it, just like that. Okay? And this is what it should look like. Now we're going to go over to the other side. It might be a little bit easier to see because we've already, you can see that you're going to go through here. You're going to go through the two on this side and that side. You can kind of see them. They're sticking out there already. And right below that is where you're going to put your first band. So on the front here, you can see these little loops, maybe, right here and here. I'm going to go through the first set, since they're double, on the left-hand side and put my band through, on my hook through there. Okay. Then I'm going to look at the back or the side and go through the next two that are available. And it will look like this. I'm going to pull a band through those. Okay. And because these are thick and don't turn, I'm going to just let loose of it for a second before I decide how to lay it up. Because this is the front, so I want it to lay nice and neat. I don't want it to be crooked. So if I turn it like that, you'll see it's kind of crooked. Like this makes it a little cleaner. So I will put my hook in through that way. Go in, and you can see these two that are available now because we've done the other side. This side's a little bit easier. Put your hook through all four of those bands and then attach the back. Like that. Pull another band through. Now, get them out of the way. Pull another band through everything that's on your hook. Like so. Again, I care about which way these go, so I'm going to just let it hang out there for a second. And then, looks like that will be fine, so I'll put it back in this way. And now I'm going to go through these two that are available right here. Put them on my hook and close this up. Just like that. I'm going to take one more band and pull it through everything that's on my hook. Going to do a slip stitch, and I want, that's my front, so I'm going to remove this and actually come in, turn it around and come in through the back. Okay? Because I want that back part of that slip stitch to be over the front like that one was. Pull the slip stitch through and then take this and put it over your jump ring. And there you have that side. The first side is done. Okay? Now do the same thing on the other side. I suppose I could leave you to yourself, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. Okay. So, turning it to the side, you're going to end up going through here, and your first one is going to be down below. So, looking at it carefully, I think, is that the two? Like I said, it's those shiny bands, so it makes it a little difficult to see. But you'll be able to figure it out, I'm sure. Just getting it through that first one is a little difficult for me because they're tight. Okay, got it. Then I'm going to put it through, oh, well, I had it. And come on. All right, now I have it. Let me be a little more careful. I'm going to grab the next two that are available. And if you look at it, you can see that it's these two right here, because we're going to actually split that right there. Okay, so it goes through those two. So, oh my goodness, look at that, I have too many on there. All right, let's try this again. Give it a tug so I can wiggle it out and make sure I got the right ones. Okay, so if I pull this on the back side here, this is where it's going through, so I'm going to just hold on to it. Now, if you look at the front, you've got this section right here. You're going to go through the two that are on the right. And I think maybe because we've used double bands, it's a little harder to figure out which ones to pick up. But if you look at the side, it will look like this. Okay. I'm going to pull a band through all of those. Okay, this is the front. I want to make sure that it goes like that, and it does. I'm going to go to the next loops up, which are these right here. Right there. Stick your band, your hook through those. Reattach or attach this side, making sure it's not crooked. Pull a band through those. Get them all. Okay. Just like that, and this looks good to me. So now what I'm going to do is pull on this ring, and I'm going to go through the two outer bands. Attach the side that's loose. You'll be pulling a band through all of these. Like so. Now, I want this one, the back, to be over the front, and it will be if I hold it just like this and pull it through. Okay? And then I'm going to put it over my jump ring. It'll look like this. I'm going to this other side, so I know that I'm going to be pulling through here, here, and then dropping down one. If you look at the front, you'll grab the first two that are on the left-hand side, and then the next two that are available. I can find them, which would be these two right here. This is probably the hardest part of this section, is getting those bands. Okay, got the bands, pulling one through, everything that's on your hook. This is my front, and I want to make sure it's looks good, so it does. I'm going to leave it just like that. So sorry. And then I'm going to look at this, and I can see that my next available are these two and these two. So I'm going to put my hook through those 4 bands and attach. Pulling the band through that, everything that's on your hook. Okay. I'm going to look at this again, and yeah, that looks fine. So I'm going to go through this one right here. You can see that the other side has already gone through, so we're going to attach our hook through those, attach them to our hook, add the back one that's hanging out, add another band through everything that's on your hook, like so. Now we are going to do a slip stitch. I want the back one over the front, and this is my front, so I'm going to turn it around very carefully so I don't lose it. Reattach your hook, pull that slip stitch through, and pull this up and over your jump ring. And this is what it will look like. Okay? Hopefully you got that. Rewind if you have to. Just be careful when you're picking up your bands. Now, of course, it's pretty obvious that this is the side that you use, but when you're first looking at it, not so much, you can't tell. And that, again, that might be because my bands are shiny. Okay, so I will be back in a moment to show you the next step. Okay, I am back. Our next section is going to be taking our hook and putting it through the band that the bead is open. If you open that up, you can see that that's the band. So going to put that through there, take a band, pull it through, and before reattaching, we're going to go up here and grab these two on the right side and these two on the left side. This is the side of your bracelet. We'll put all four of those on our hook. Hello, Sebastian. And reattach. Like so. Grab another band, pull it through everything that is on your hook. Go up to the next open teardrop, I guess you want to call it. Put your, I don't want to lose that band there. Put your hook through the two on the right and the two on the left. Will look like this. You can see it's the other side of the front of this. Whoop, might help if I put that on there. And then reattach. Like so. Okay, it'll start to look like that on the front. I'm going to take another band, pull it through everything on your hook. Go up to the next section, put the two on the right, the two on the left, looking like this. Attach, and it will look like this. Okay. We'll grab one more, pull it through everything on your hook. Well, come on. Pull it through everything that was on your hook. I might give that a little twist there. It gets twisted. Okay. Go up to the next teardrop section. You can see that it's pretty shiny. Look at the back. Pick up these two. Might be a little difficult to find. Let me look at this again. Okay, it's hidden down underneath. So pick up these two on the outside, the two on the left side. You'll have four on your hook. Oh goodness, hoping that's not out of frame. Reattach. Try to keep my arm down. Another band. Pull it through everything on your hook. Okay. Before reattaching, you want to go through the next little teardrop up here. There'll be two on the right hand side and two bands on the left hand side, and then reattach. Look like this. There's one more teardrop section right here that we're going to pick up these four bands right here. So grab another band, pull it through everything on your hook. Okay. Reach in and grab those four bands. A lot easier to see now. And then reattach. Okay. Now that we've done that, we're going to grab these two bands here, these two bands here, and these two bands right up here that look like a V. Okay. Take your band, pull it through everything on your hook. Sometimes things get caught, so just be careful. Before reattaching, just take the two outside loops, put them on your hook, reattach. Grabbing another band, pulling it through the four loops that are on your hook. Before you close it up, right underneath, right here, you'll see those two bands right there. You want to grab those two bands on your hook and then reattach. Okay. Now, right above this, which is your slip stitch, are these two bands right here that look like a V. those are the bands you're going to grab next. You're going to pull a band through everything on your hook. I'll make sure I got that. Looks like I missed something. There we go. It was just looped in. Grab those two bands only. Okay, and reattach. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a band through here, through the 4 that are on your hook, trying not to catch anything else along the way. Okay, and before you close it, we are going to put the jump ring on and then close. So it will look like this. Okay. Taking our last band on this section, pulling it through everything that is on your hook. Okay. This is the front of my bracelet right here, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. So what I'm going to do is hold this and release this, pull it, put my hook in through the other side. Carefully, it's kind of hard to do it this way. There we go. Through the other side, and oh no, I guess I was wrong. Oh goodness me. Goodness, could have left it the way it was. Because I want the back to come over the front. So let me put those back on. And I'm going to slip stitch right here. So that this slip stitch knot is at the front of my bracelet. Okay? Just like that. Now I'm going to do the other side. This is what it's going to start to look like. I'm going to do the other side. So I will open this up again, find that band that this is attached to. Well, you know what I want to do is I'm going to flip it over backwards. It'll make it easier for me. I'm going to put, because I want to go up the bracelet. So I'm going to put my hook through that band, pull a band through, and before I reattach it, I'm going to pick up this teardrop shape right here. So there'll be 2 on the outside, and then 2 on the inside, and there'll be 4. That's your little teardrop shape up the side. And then I'm going to reattach. Okay, pulling a band through that. Get them. Goodness, don't want to let go. Pull your band through. Goodness me, Sebastian. Pull your band through everything on your hook. Before reattaching, you want to take these 2 here on the outside. Make sure I get the right ones. 2 on that side, and then the 2 on this side. You'll have 4, and that is your teardrop shape. Now you can reattach. Take another band and pull it through everything on your hook. Let's try not to catch anything else along the way. Okay. Before closing up, you'll go up to your next teardrop shape. There are 2 on this side and 2 on this side because we were using the double bands. That's why there are 2. And reattach. It will look like this. Okay. I'm going to take another band. My husband's giving me a hard time. Pull it through everything here. And before you reattach, you want to pick up these 2 on the right side, these 2 on the left side, and reattach that band. Okay, look like that. Grab another band, pull it through everything on your hook. Before you reattach, you'll grab this teardrop second, which is the next one up, making sure you have both bands on that side and both bands. Did I get them? Hard to tell. Ah, no, I didn't. I missed. It gets a little tight over there. There we go. both bands on that side, and then reattach. Okay, you still have another teardrop in here, and we're going to be picking that up next. Pull your band through. Okay. Before reattaching, we want to grab those two bands on the right, the two bands on the left. Come on. Let's see, am I getting them? Well, these two, oh, it's just a little tight in there. They're just tight bands. Here we go. These two right here. Do I have 2 or 3? Let me try that one again. I think I had 3 there. Let me pull this out and do this again. Give it a little tug so I can make sure I know what I'm looking at. All right. 2 on the right. And then these 2 right here. Okay, now I think I have 4 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and reattach. Sorry. When it gets up to this part right here, it does get a little snug. So just make sure you have the right bands. It's that teardrop, and I have 2 on each side. Okay, so now we're going to pull another band through everything that's on your hook. Okay. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a turn here. We're going to pick up this band right here and this band, the 2 outer bands. Okay, and then reattach. Ooh, don't want to lose that. Reattach that guy, and it should look like this. Okay, then we're going to grab these 2 that look like an inverted V, and then these 2 up here that look like a V. Can you see that okay? Okay, that was out of focus a little bit. So we're going to pull a band through everything on our hook. And before reattaching, we're going to go up here underneath this slip stitch here. And you'll see this band and this band that look like an inverted V. Put them on your hook, reattach, pull a band through. Okay, then we're going to go up and grab these 2 that look like a V, 1 and 2, and then reattach. So it will look like this. I'm going to pull a band through those that are on your hook. Do everything on your hook. Okay. Then we're going to go up and grab this. I'll get that out of the way. Grab the jump ring, reattach, pull 1 more band through everything, including the jump ring. So the 2 bands and the jump ring. And then I want my slip stitch to be on the front. This is the back. So now I'm going to hold them and turn it around. Attaching this one and attaching this one. And then doing my slip knot. Okay? The other one's just kind of in the way. Alright, so that side will look like this. You'll have these 2 hanging out, but not to worry, we'll come back and take care of those. So go ahead and do the other side on your own. Remember to start in the same hole, this one right here, and then do those all the way down, come to the other side all the way down, rewind if you have to, and I will see you back here in a few moments.